All right, big topic right here is clarity, and this is something that I wish I had someone tell me when I was starting out. I wish I had this outlined in school. It never will be, and it definitely never was. But clarity is what's actually going to reach you towards your goal. It's actually what's going to push you. Now, I was actually going to make a video on persistence because persistence is the one thing that's actually going to make you successful. Persistence is staying hungry, and no matter the obstacles, you're always pushing forward. But you can't have persistence without clarity, so that's exactly why I'm making this video first. So, clarity is you being clear on your goal, it's you being clear on your purpose, and it's actually what people think they have, even though they don't. So, if you want to relay this back to as well, conspiracy, Illuminati, clarity, purpose. The big word here is purpose. It's very rare that people actually understand what their purpose is, and you need purpose to have clarity. You need to understand what you are put in the world to do, and a lot of people, if I just give you some examples of when purpose is actually realized, most people actually know their purpose in this age bracket. So this is the age bracket where most commonly people self-actualize and they realize what their purpose is. That's when midlife crisis happens. People understand that they've been messing around their whole lives and not actually aligned with what they were put on the world to do, and that's where a lot of problems will occur, obviously. But people deviate from this. I got my purpose at 20, so I understood that I was put in the world to give to others what I never got, which was actually one-to-one help in building a business and accountability. My main goal in life is to provide accountability for anyone who wants to achieve their goals, and I do it with one-to-one coaching. But self-actualization and your clarity can happen, of course, in any other age. So 16, some people understand their purpose at 16, and they're the big entrepreneurs nowadays. Iman Gadse, people like that, who understood really early exactly what they were put in the world to do and just streamlined to that goal. And of course, it'll deviate to maybe you, I hope not, but realizing your purpose at 60 when realistically you only have 20, 30 years max to actually fulfill that purpose. But it does always deviate. The most common age group people find their purpose is 30 to 40, but of course there are other ages where you actually sit down and you realize, what have I been doing my whole life? This is not even who I am. So what is actually links to is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. For those who know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the top, so there's many others, but the top one, what you actually need to fulfill your life and be truly happy, is self-actualization. Now, this is taught in school, which I think this is really funny because, not self-destruction, self-actualization. It's really funny how this is taught in school because no one will actually achieve self-actualization from a full-time job. No one will. I don't know why self-actualization is even mentioned. And when teachers mentioned it, they had no idea what they were talking about, because to actually talk about self-actualization, you have to have achieved it. And you achieve it by actually knowing your purpose, knowing what you have to do and doing it. And this is what most people don't even understand. A lot of people will say to themselves, I want, and then it's their goal, I will, and it's their goal. And let's give another example of I am. So this is manifestation. So I want, I will, I am. People think they have clarity in life and actually are streamlined towards the goal by saying this. Let me use a different pen for this, but you are completely wrong. Just saying that stuff to yourself does not mean you have clarity. It does not mean that you know your purpose. It really doesn't. Knowing your purpose, once you have clarity, it clicks. It's not a progression. It's you either have clarity or you don't. There's no in between those two. You either have it or you don't. And you know you have it when everything that used to entertain you So going back to who you may have been, identity A. If you're trying to reach identity B, if you have clarity, identity B, your identity A would die. It literally would die. It would be an instant click, because once you have clarity in your goal, once you have clarity on your purpose, nothing that used to entertain you, being you the previous person you were, is gonna feel the same. It's gonna feel completely off. It's gonna feel completely different, and that's when you have true clarity. That's when you actually understand your purpose, and that's when you actually progress in life. So you go from C to B and so forth. But you will never progress through these identities until you have evolved that clarity. Now, clarity, how you actually gain clarity, there is a long approaches, there's short approaches. Trauma can randomly cause you clarity. You can actually understand something about yourself, but most of it will come from understanding yourself. So understanding your psychology, how you actually perceive life, what life is. Of course, I'm not old enough to be a coach in exactly what life is. I just know that if you want to reach your goal, you have to have full clarity about it, and you're going to get that by doing it. So if you're putting time into something, I tried 5 different business models before I actually understood what I wanted to do in life and what I wanted to be. So it does take time. It can take you from 2 to 5 years of trying to actually find out about yourself, trying to evolve yourself, practicing businesses, learning about businesses. If that's your interest, then you have to actually do it to actually get full clarity on what you want to be in life. And once you have your full clarity, once you start at, let's say, person B, so you've already got a mindset for business, you already know what you're doing, you envision yourself as person Z, and you know exactly who that would be. If you don't know who person Z would be, if we follow the exact linear line of evolution through identities, if you don't know who person Z would be, you don't have clarity. You don't actually know your purpose. You don't know who you want to be. So I already envision person Z. I know who I need to be. I know I need to be a coach on accountability. Hope you can see that. Coach on accountability. I need to help startup entrepreneurs, because startup is the hardest point to actually start entrepreneurship, because it all comes to your mindset, and if you don't have a mindset for it, you can't even start. And the main goal is to just grow a community that has guidance in reaching their goal. So you can't, the spelling is Nax, but to grow a community that has guidance to achieve their goal, these are the points that I need to actually reach person Z. And that's something I learned, that's something I know, that's something that took me years to learn. This isn't something you learn straight away. But once you actually do, once you understand what you actually need to achieve, so I don't want to die before these goals have been achieved, before I can fully coach someone from 0 to 100k a month, before I can help entrepreneurs start a business, and before I can cultivate a community that has full guidance to reach their goal. I can't die. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even achieved my goals. Of course, easier said than done, but that's something you actually need to be able to envision, to have clarity. Now, if you think clarity comes from you just understanding your goal, manifesting it, stuff like that, you're halfway there, because what you actually need is you need to envision that person. If you can't envision that person, then you'll never reach your goal. So this has been a lesson on clarity. I know it's quite deep, but hopefully you have understood it, and the next one is going to be even stronger, so stay tuned.